Hi everyone, I'm Denise and welcome back to my channel Spiritual Growth Tarot. And as usual, I'm using the Light Seers Tarot by Chris Ann. And this reading is for Monday, February 8th, 2021. And 3 cards to help us grow, help us evolve, come back home to who we truly are, and some help for the day as well. Okay, so for the theme, we have the 4 of Cups. So, well, and it's flanked, I should say as well. It's flanked with the 3 of Wands reversed and the 8 of Swords reversed. Okay, so I see why these cards go together really well. The 4 of Cups is sometimes, just on the mundane level, something that you don't want. You can see right here, there's a cup. Someone's offering this person something, but they're looking out over here, and they're also not paying attention to what they have here. So sometimes this card can come in when we're a little over-satiated, like maybe because it follows the 3 of Cups. The 3 of Cups is about celebrations and abundance, and sometimes it can have to do with overdoing, like over-partying. And so the next day you're feeling kind of like, I overdid it. And then in other levels on a mundane coming from just the daily kind of experience, that can bring in just feeling a little stuck and wanting to meditate. It's sometimes in other artwork, it's a person up against a tree and they're sitting and meditating. Contemplation is one of the the key words I remember with this card. And that's good. There's nothing wrong with that. You just have to be careful. The only element to really be careful with this card is if we're in apathy, if we're in that place where I just don't care about anything and nothing works, and very those type of attitudes that keep you from feeling your feelings and trying to figure out like what's really going on. Because to get inside of our real feelings helps us to connect with our spirit. We access our spirit through our feelings, not through our mind. You use your mind to direct your intention for our egos to relax and surrender to to our higher self, to our spirit, and we have to tap into our feelings to to get anywhere with that. So coupled with this 3 of Wands reversed, well, it feels like there could be, it's that element of self-doubt and not knowing which way you want to go. Because straight up, it's like you've put something out there. If you're a surfer, you're at least at the beach and you're waiting for the perfect wave, or you're waiting for a good wave at least, right? It's often the card of waiting for your ships to come in the traditional Rider Waite. But when it's reversed, it has us not even knowing what we're waiting for or what we're wanting, and this has us in that same quality. So it's really important to go for what you want, but you can't go for what you want until you know what you want, right? So when I years ago I went through lots of limbo experiences, and what always helped me was to pray for inspiration. I would set the intention for my spirit and my guides and my guardian angels and the highest realms of love and light to inspire me in the right direction. And then I would just wait. And this can be a waiting card when you're waiting to figure out what it is that you really want. This card often comes in like after you've gone for what you want, but it didn't work out. It can be sometimes like the end of a conflict, like walking away from a challenging situation. Um, and especially if it's got you questioning, like relationships and what you've put your heart into. So that may be true for some of you, but if that's the case, then this card comes in and it's actually really good because it's the end of the disappointment or the end of the, if it was just like a job that wasn't right for you, or somebody gave you advice and it wasn't the right way to go. You took someone's advice and it turned out to not be the right way to go. This combo here brings you back into figuring out, well, what about me? I've got to trust myself inside. I have to get my own, inspiration and my own guidance. So you always want to go back inside to get your guidance. Now, it's excellent when you have guidance coming up from within, and then someone else, confirms that's what they're seeing too. That's excellent, and that happens often. In personal readings, I'll have people come in or people come to me, not come in anymore. We work over the phone and online and FaceTime nowadays. So anyway, but they would often be getting guidance and then just wondering what I get. So that's where you have to go to a really open, place and see what comes through. And the confirmation, to have that double confirmation, is really, really helpful. Or maybe they've even gone to other psychics or intuitives or their therapist, was trying to help them with something inside, and then to get the same message. It's a wonderful experience to have. So sometimes with the Three of Wands reversed, we would want to go to the guidance of the Two of Wands. And the Two of Wands straight up is all about courage and going for something new, something beautiful and new. Let me grab the card here and show you. I love the Two of Wands. See how it's like the world is at your feet, and there's a VW bus and a surfboard. It's like, where do you want to go? So it can be a road trip many times, but it's often like looking out across the expanse and wondering, okay, what's next? It's a beginning of a new adventure. So sometimes the Three of Wands comes up reversed because you need to go back to that place where you decide what it is that you want to do. Where do you want to go? What do you really want? Are you feeling kind of restless? Sometimes it's a card where you need to be patient. But for the most part, just to remember, when it's the Three of Wands reversed, the resolution, after some struggle with trying to figure out what you wanted, it's going to come in. It's going to come in, and especially if you get in touch with what you really, really want. So more into this Four of Cups, this can sometimes come in when you're just tired. Sometimes we're feeling a little apathetic because we're tired and we do need the rest. And then sometimes it can come in when, like I said, after the Three of Cups, where there's been, a lot of connection with other people, where you're just a little spent. So there's that. But it's okay, because it's a card that's a lot like the Seven of Pentacles, where you're reevaluating, but it's more about the heart levels rather than like the physical work. With Seven of Pentacles, often it's about the physical work. With this one, it's more about we all have to go for what we love. Otherwise, we're not going to keep at it, It's so true, that old saying of do what you love and the money will follow. I think it was a book by, if I remember right, it was Marcia Senator. It was either Marcia Senator or Sanaya Roman. I used to read those books years and years and years ago, and and it's so true. I've learned over the years that yeah, there's lots of good ideas and lots of wonderful ways that you think you might want to work, but when it comes down to it, you better figure out what it is that you would do for free if you could, because that's the only thing that's gonna, that you're really gonna put your heart and soul into. So the Eight of Swords comes in when it's reversed. Well, it can be being released from a place where you've previously felt kind of trapped nah, you know what I'm hearing? This is the release of feeling like a victim. Because, in the Eight of Swords is straight up the false belief that we have to work through, which means that we always, look in the mirror. We don't look outside ourselves for what's gone on in our lives. We need to look and see how we created what we're experiencing. When it's reversed, then you're released from that situation, or from that mentality, like that victim consciousness, or I should say lack of consciousness, right? But there's no judgment about it. It's just one of those things that all humans, at some point in their evolution, they have to come in touch with a place where they take self-responsibility for their lives. And while life is not perfect on Earth, if you just go to the place where you can accept that that life isn't perfect, we have that acceptance, and where we don't have like a demand on life to be met a certain way, and we can let go of things needing to be perfect, and we can accept the fact that with all of our thoughts and emotional material inside of us, and all of our attitudes especially, whether we're conscious of them or not, that they shape and mold our reality every day. So if we're not getting what we want, as in this card here, and when we've gone after what we've wanted, but it didn't work out, and now we know that that's not the right direction, if we still just keep focused on what is the emotional material inside that has created this place where we don't, where we don't like what we've been given, where we're rejecting an offer. And that's the missing key with, I know everybody's probably read The Law of Attraction, and when you're working on manifesting, it's not just about what's in your mind. It has to do with everything that's in your soul substance. All these false beliefs that we've been carrying for lifetimes, and we have really good reasons, though, to have these false beliefs, because we've gone through atrocious situations, horrendous situations in past lives, and we're healing them, every step of the way. So when the Eight of Swords comes through, we've worked through that. We have taken some steps and done the work, and now there is a release. So I am affirming that Monday, February 8th, 2021 is a day of new beginnings for you. A place where you have the freedom and there's no more, fear. Because when you get inside the truth that you create your own reality, and even though you don't have what you want, once you accept that if you've created something that you didn't want, you're the one that can turn it around, right? As long as we accept that we create our own realities, we are stepping towards empowerment. And there's no more, we are released from any type of victim consciousness. It does take courage, though, but that's okay. That's okay. We can do that. There's no problem with that. You just open up to your spirit, your higher self, and ask for inspiration and ask to be led in the right direction, and then trust those those little feelings that come through, those little ideas, those inspirations. Sometimes it's just all these little ones, but they're consistent. The deal with trying to figure out if it's the right way to go is you will consistently keep getting the same messages over and over. Unless you just shut it down completely. Some people do that, which is very sad. They don't pay attention to their dreams, and they don't meditate, and they don't trust their feelings and their instincts. Instead, they just, like with this card, when it's straight up, they just blame something outside of themselves. And that's what keeps us in that vicious circle of being like tied up in our thoughts. So I like this card being reversed, actually. So, okay, well, that's all I have for today. Thanks so much, you guys. Take good care, and I'll be back soon. Bye.